almost 4 months since our last story together, but worry not, I have a very special story prepared for you today. It's been 4 months since I actually gave birth to my first baby girl, Lily, and because I spent so much time with her, I decided to actually write a story about her. And I hope you will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Are you ready? Let's start! It's called Princess Fluffina. Once upon a time, there was a fluffy little princess called Princess Fluffina. Her real name was Lily, but because she was cute and fluffy like a cupcake, everybody at the castle called her Princess Fluffina. Her parents, the king and queen, loved her enormously. In fact, they had been looking forward to a baby for a long time. So when she was born, they were very excited and determined to show her the most beautiful part of the world and nurture her curiosity as much as possible because they wanted to make sure she grew up happy and confident. Therefore, they decided not to have any locked rooms in the castle. The king and queen felt that they had nothing to hide from the little princess. Moreover, they decreed that all inhabitants of the kingdom should encourage the princess's curiosity and answer all the questions she had. And believe me, she had quite a few. The king and queen loved spending time with the little princess, showing and explaining to her everything she was interested in. And for the moments when they were busy with royal affairs, they found her some very worthy helpers. Wiggles the dog and Curly and Furly the kittens. They were to become Princess Fluffina's best friends until she grew old enough to make some human friends. The years passed quickly, and Princess Fluffina was no longer fluffy, but she continued to be just as adorable and full of life, so everyone just kept calling her by that name. You see, the girl was very curious by nature and wanted to explore every nook and cranny of the castle. This is how she discovered priceless treasures and wonders she had never seen before. But because Wiggles couldn't speak the human language, no one could explain to Princess Fluffina what those things were. Nevertheless, even just by looking at them and noticing their sparkle, the girl knew that they were important to her parents. She had discovered her mother's decorations and jewelry, her father's impressive library, and then, one day, the kitchen. Wiggles and the two cats were the happiest there, hoping they would receive some of the goodies. But to their disappointment, the table seemed too high for any of them, especially for Princess Fluffina. So instead, they smelled the yummy, delicious food cooking in the oven, and because it was a sunny day with big white clouds, the girl then took her friends to the garden. I was telling you that Princess Fluffina loved to explore the castle, but do you know what she liked just as much? To watch the white, delicate and fluffy clouds moving on the clear sky on sunny days. She loved sitting on her back on the freshly cut grass in the garden with her 3 four-legged friends and trying to guess the shape of the clouds. Oh, she had such a great time whenever she saw a familiar shape. Look, Wiggles! A bunny! And that's a bear! Wow! Look! This big one is a dragon! Oh, how I like dragons! Don't you, Wiggles? Woof woof! The faithful doggy answered. And so, on that sunny day, with fluffy clouds, a new question came to Princess Fluffina's mind, and she decided to get the answer to it from the wisest man in the kingdom, the king himself. How fluffy are the clouds? She asked Daddy. What do you think? He asked her in return. I think they're as fluffy as cotton candy. Might be, replied the king. Daddy, have you ever touched the clouds? Me? I'm afraid not. I'd love to do that, but how could I get to the clouds? Well, you could take a plane, a helicopter, a hot air balloon, or maybe a big bird. Like a dragon? Yes, that would be an idea too. However, you would have to be very careful. A little girl like you has to be accompanied when she flies. The sky is a very dangerous place when you have no wings. Thanks, Dad. I will remember that. Princess Fluffina decided to go and touch the clouds. She was so curious. Were they really as fluffy as cotton candy? I don't know. The next day, she woke up with a new question. Where would I find a plane, a helicopter, a hot air balloon, or a dragon? She thought long and hard, but had no answer. When she became so sad that she was about to give up, Wiggles barked for her to follow him. Even if he couldn't speak, you could tell he was very proud. Wiggles took Princess Fluffina up a nearby hill and barked at the sky. Up there, between two white fluffy clouds, a yellow hot air balloon was floating. Wow, Wiggles! You found us a balloon! Now we can visit the sky! But how do we know whose balloon it is? This time, Curly and Furly meowed something that meant follow us and led the girl to a big and beautiful house where a nice old man with glasses lived. He was as passionate about the clouds as Princess Fluffina. The thing is, his house wasn't very close to the castle, so it was evening by the time they got there. The old man was just returning from his trip with a balloon, and after greeting him, the girl told him her wish. I want to go up in the sky too! I want to touch the clouds to see if they're as fluffy as cotton candy, she said. Oh, I will gladly help you, the old man replied, remembering the king's decree which encouraged the girl's curiosity. But we need good weather. We can't fly the balloon in bad weather, otherwise the wind or the storm can collapse it. I'm afraid you'll have to wait. The next few days the wind will be too strong, even if it will be sunny. Thank you, sir, said the little girl and then left with her 3 friends. A few days had passed and the old man did not call the princess over for a balloon ride. Fluffina was no longer patient, so she decided to fly with the balloon no matter what. She went to the old man's house and tried to find him, but it seemed that he was not at home. However, the balloon was patiently waiting in the garden. Because she had seen the old man wielding the balloon to start and stop it, to get up and down, the princess climbed the balloon fearlessly with Wiggles, Curly and Furly and slowly but surely embarked on her dream journey high in the sky. The king had told her to go accompanied, and since her 40 friends were with her, she felt that she had listened to him. The sun was up in the sky and she couldn't feel any gust of wind, so she was confident that everything would be fine. The 4 friends slowly floated higher and higher in the sky until the ground looked like a pie sprinkled with cocoa and the houses looked like sugar-colored decorations. Wow! Everything is so beautiful from up here, isn't it, my friends? Woof! Meow! Meow! They replied. Soon they were so high that they floated through the clouds. We finally reached the clouds! Let's see how fluffy they are, said Fluffina, reaching for a big fat cloud. But the more she tried to catch it, to touch it, the faster the cloud dissolved. I never imagined that the clouds would disappear under our touch, said the enchanted girl. As she marveled looking at the clouds and playing hide and seek with them, she did not realize that behind the balloon a storm was approaching rapidly. The hot air balloon began to sway, at first slowly and then more and more, until even the brave Princess Fluffina was worried. Oh no! The storm is is coming! What are we going to do?" the girl asked. "Woof, woof!" barked Wiggles, but as we know, Fluffina did not understand what the doggy was saying. "Poor Wiggles, you're afraid as well, aren't you?" she asked the dog. "Woof," he replied. Each second, the furious storm came closer and closer, and with it, a very strong wind. The hot air balloon was snatched up in the storm, it swirled in the air many times, and then the fabric tore apart. This time, they could not float. "Help!" cried Fluffina desperately. "Woof! Woof! Meow!" The animals barked and meowed, but nothing happened. The storm threw the hot air balloon basket far away. Princess Fluffina began to cry for help as loud as she could, although she was convinced that no one and nothing would be able to help her in that situation. Daddy had been right. She should have gone accompanied, but not only by her dear pet friends, but also by the old man who would have known what to do in that situation. She should have had the patience for him to call her on the balloon ride. He certainly knew the storm was coming. That would have avoided a lot of trouble. As she lost all hope, Fluffina felt some large wings under the basket of the balloon that carried the rest of the hot air balloon away from the storm. The princess looked amazed at the being who saved them and saw a dragon! She couldn't believe it! The dragon took the four friends back to the castle and told the princess, "My dear, you were not wise today. You shouldn't have started this hot air balloon trip alone. If I hadn't heard your cry for help, there would have been no one to save you. You are lucky I was flying around." "You're right," said the girl. "I was so curious how fluffy the clouds were that I couldn't wait. I'm sorry." "You don't have to apologize to me," said the dragon. "Promise me you'll be careful from now on." "I promise," said Princess Fluffina at once. "Thank you for saving us. I didn't know curiosity could be dangerous. Now I know." "That is indeed an important lesson," replied the dragon, starting to fly away. "Wow, Wiggles! A dragon saved us! I have to go and apologize to the old man. I broke the hot air balloon. And I also have to apologize to my father. I think he's worried and probably looking for me all around the castle. Oh, now I know. I have to listen to what I'm being told, and I must be patient." Since then, Princess Fluffina was very careful what adventures she got herself into and did not let her curiosity put her life in danger anymore. Well, kids, what do you say? Do you also do what Fluffina is now doing? Are you careful or are you driven by your curiosity and don't think very much of what you're doing? How are you reacting when you want to go in an adventure? Are you planning or are you just going ahead? I hope you like this story and I hope it taught you what it taught Fluffina, to be patient and to listen to what you're being told by your parents because they always know what's best for you. My dear ones, with this I leave you and I hope you're going to have a great rest of the summer and I'll see you at the next story. Bye!